Right, this is a complete new series. This has been going on for, I haven't stalled at Beltring for quite a few years now, and we basically planned all this. I think probably the second to last time I was there. I go there every year as a feet on the ground to buy stuff, but right, this was what happened was we all got round, we were all sitting round campfire or stove or whatever at Beltring in the evening. The War and Peace show this is in Kent. Incredibly good show to go to because it's the biggest one. It's got 600 odd stalls, it's got 2,000 vehicles, huge reenactment fields, lots of other stuff for other family members to do, so it is the most incredible place to go really in Kent. Lots of foreign people go there too, foreign stalls, so you get different stuff. It's really good. But anyway, this is the introduction for the X-Team films that, basically we're all sitting around and there was people from James Bond there, people from Harry Potter, Star Wars, a few other people. These are ranging from everything to guns, armourers, vehicle people, even casting managers, casting supervisors, things like that. They're all there. So James Bond was looking a bit long in the tooth, and there was nothing ever there to, you know, James Bond is its own thing. It does James Bond the best. There was no doubting about that, and it should carry on. But I think there was a bit of a, I can't remember whether it's because they got to the end of Ian Fleming's books and everyone thought there wouldn't be another one. But also Harry Potter finished. The last book had been made into a film, so nobody, you know, everyone was thinking, what could we do? And I said, right, well, you know, what would be the best scenario for a new film to get everyone roped in? And a lot of things were talked about, like for instance in James Bond, he's always got a woman, and I just can't imagine other women liking that. They like to watch the film for him, but can't really like the fact that he's a bit of a womanizer. And then there's a lady for the men who are watching the film, but she's generally with James Bond, so your thing in your mind is she's taken, you know. And then there's nothing there for the kids either. So we thought, what could we put in a film that would be okay for the kids? Now, obviously, you need the leading man. If I can find my pen. Here he is. Leading man. The usual Special Forces and Army background. MI5, MI6, that sort of thing, so agency type. Obviously you need a woman, and the women in James Bond come and go, which is good because it means you don't have to, you know, you can keep asking actresses, and but if you've got one woman, but anyway, I'll tell you why we need one person to do it, because obviously this is a series, so we'll put her in there. Now, what do men like? Tall, a bit feisty, and we thought along the lines of Russian, because the other idea in this film is to get people in from other countries who will then want to see the film. So we decided Russian, mainly because there was quite a few people there who collected Russian stuff in the little group. So Right, tall, Russian, moody, yeah. We also decided that these two should never get together. It should almost be on the cards. So everyone in the film's thinking, yeah, go on, it's got to happen this time, it's got to happen this time. So I'll put in there, never get together, okay? Now, the kids obviously need a boy and a girl. Now somebody suggested, because they had twins, they suggested twins. And about a year afterwards, when I was sort of planning all this, I actually rang the twins agency in London, and they said, yeah, nearer the time, you know. So we've got the twin girls here. Now, what was up and coming around that time, and it probably still is yoga, acrobatics, gymnastics, dancing, all that. So these two, we decided, will wear the same costumes, but be gymnasts of some sort, or something. Something where they were jumping about all the time, and that girls wanted to be. So yeah, I'll say sporty types. Dance. Both wearing the same stuff, generally to do with, later on we decided they would come from a circus, because the plight of circuses at the moment is non-attendance of people, and it seems to be dying out. There's quite a few circuses that have stopped now, so we thought we'd promote those a bit. Right, the boy, now because Harry Potter was going, we thought we'd give him glasses and make him not all the razzmatazz of a wand and all these special bits and pieces. And I never knew what was going on in Harry Potter anyway. Maybe I weren't watching it at the beginning of the film or something, I don't know. Maybe I was organising the kids or something. So yeah, he will be... And somebody mentioned Joe 90. Now Joe 90 had all these gadgets and things, didn't he? And the A-Team making up stuff, you know, we tried to get the A-Team in, making their cars and making all their equipment. But we thought we'd go one better than that, and we'd give them a workshop at the place where most of the filming is done, which was going to be a Welsh cottage. And then, so he makes everything. So he put maker. So he puts together guns. Yeah, we're putting guns in here, by the way, because as in James Bond, you get all these mothers who cower when they see a gun, but as soon as it's in James Bond, they go, ah, he shot him, that's good. You know, it's a mental thing. So because this is a film, we're allowed to use guns. But the gun bit comes later, because there's a very, very good reason for all that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was another one. It's funny I can't remember these things. Main man, main woman, main boy, main girls. Yes, that's book 1. Book 2, because of the anime thing coming up, and Comic-Con, which is now nearly in every town in England every year, we thought we would do some sort of anime themed thing. So in book 2, they get themselves an actroid, who's a girl. She doesn't wear a dress. Now she looks exactly like an Asian human. She was pinched from Japan after the tsunamis, and basically has quite a few weapons systems on her which aren't impossible. What I'm saying is everything we're putting on her is possible. So that's the actroid. Now, 6 of those were made by the Japanese military. She's the R6 version. There's R1 to R6. Each one has more stuff on, and the idea behind them was they could put them into a country as a student and they could send back information and get themselves out of trouble if there was a problem. That's why they made them, but the X-Team stole her after the tsunami. Okay, and you'll see, they didn't actually steal her, but you'll see how, and a lot of the books and films after that are quite a few agencies trying to get her back off us. So that's her. So that's for the anime people. Should I say, you know, people who like to get dressed up, Comic-Con, you know, we like all that. In fact, we got some, I saw these here. We do have some figures and things already that my daughter likes. And so yeah, there's quite a few of those around. We bought these to try and get ideas. These are made of resin, but really highly painted. But anyway, that's that side of the thing. So we've got all our characters. There's somebody for everybody there. Now, the secondary characters. Now, we call this bloke Harry because he looks like Harry Potter. And his nickname at school, in the books, book 1's here. There it is up there. That's book 1. That's already done. That's the beginning. Creation. The creation of the X-Team, book 1. The beginning. It's going to be 30 books and 30 films. So, we've done that. Book 2's already done. Now, we've already said we'd be 2 books ahead when we start the filming. So the filming, you know, we've put the feelers out. Whoever wants to run with it. But it's going to be, all the actors and actresses are going to be employed full time, because they will do the hospital visits, the charity work, the personal appearances, that sort of thing. So they will stay in and around London pretty much the whole time. That's if we're not all killed by the virus. So yeah, we've got all that. Now, secondary characters. Harry's mum and dad. Now, these can be people in a real house in Wales. They've got to have a Welsh accent. Who will be paid every time we use their house and them for filming. So what we want is not a nice pristine clean house. We want one that's nice and used, 2 people sitting there watching television. Don't know what Harry does. He just comes back from what they think is school every day. So these are kept in the dark. And when we need him for an operation abroad, we basically tell them that he can come on holiday with us. So there you go. Now, she's called, don't know how you pronounce it, Taisia, Taisia. That was somebody's idea, so I've run with it, and I've kept that in the book. Her mum and dad, from Kazakhstan. Now, they live in Milton Keynes, or did do, and when Taisia became 18, they decided they were going to go back to their home country and leave her in the flat in Milton Keynes, council flat. So when she came back from Afghanistan, because she was a medic in Afghanistan in the book, she found squatters in the flat. And because she's really moody and really pretty nasty, it's quite funny how she threw them out. So I'll let you watch that one. Now, this fella has a dad. we hardly ever see him. He can be a famous actor. The other thing we're going to do everything round the wrong way here. All these people are going to be people taken off the streets. Because we're filming in a reality mode, all we do is tell the cast what we want to achieve. There'll be no storyboard, there'll be no lines to learn. We just say, right, we want you to sit there, we want you to discuss doing this operation, doing this. And they discuss it. We film with lots of different cameras. This is people holding 8K handheld. We've got 8K coming. We've been in touch with Sony and they're still trying to produce them, but there will be 8K cameras. And basically they just carry on and keep filling up the SD cards, and then at the end of the day that goes to editing and we choose what we want out of it. So that's that. There'll be no dramatic music. Now I know that film music people like to try and take you to court and all sorts of things. We're not having that. If there's any music in the film at all, it'll be because we've switched something on, like a car radio. Harry has produced a very, very loud radio music backpack that when they go into an operation, you can switch that on and it provides dramatic music for the storming of a building or something. So there'll be a lot of that too. There's a lot of messing around worldwide we're going to go for. So this chap, he left because he bought the flat in the cottage in Wales to retire to. His wife died, his mother died, and he had to go to a care home, which is why when Ross came back from Afghanistan, he went straight there basically to live, to look after it. So there's a lot of toing and froing to the care home, his dad, you know, things like that. His mother and father bought a villa and a yacht or a boat in Corfu, because I know Corfu very well, and I did have friends out there who could produce a boat for us. I think they might still be there with their boat, I'm not sure. But basically we will hire the boat owner as our sort of caretaker of the boat. We'll hire the boat and we'll hire the villa. If all goes well, we'll buy the whole lot, so we've always got it. So that's that. Yeah. So they've got the Corfu stuff. Villa, a boat, and that comes into play quite a lot, because not only do we do international things, but we also do very, very local problems, which you'll see, you'll read in the book, or you'll see that's already done. So really that's for the introduction. That's pretty much everything. They're the people in it. There's quite a few other bits and pieces, but our idea was to do it exactly the opposite way round. Have these all as unknowns. These are all normal people off the street who we just hire every now and again. The Actroid, we've already got her. She's from the Philippines, and well, I basically contacted her years ago, but we're still in contact, and basically she'll you know, that role has been promised to her. So, and on the when we start filming, she's not in book 2, so she'll see the book 1 film first and then decide whether she wants to be in it. Because it might be quite daunting, I don't know. So that's up to her. We'll give her that option. If you're going to watch this, we'll give you the option on the day that we're about to, or when we start arranging the filming of book 2, which is that one. There's me. The R6 mystery. She is the R6 unit, the Actroid. And then there were 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got it right. I can count. Yeah, so that's the X-Team 2. That is one of Ross's single-handed M4 fully automatic machine pistol with C-mag, drum mags, and with an old Vietnam scope that he acquired from one of his SAS buddies. Yeah, that's abroad at the moment, but we'd have to obtain the right licences for that to come back to England for the filming. It's been built abroad. This one on here was the only one I could get. That's actually a gold-plated Browning high power, because at some stage in one of the books they acquire from people they've just raided some very ornate looking pistols, but that's the only one I had to film at the time, but it's in its holster. So, but that's what that is. That's a gold-plated Browning high power. There's me again. Cut down Afghanistan bush hat. Don't know where I got that from. Somebody gave it to me. I certainly haven't been there. So yeah, so that's pretty much everything. I'll just check if there's anything in here introduction wise that I should be talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of, I've written a lot of things in. All the vehicles sitting outside my house, I've written those in. So close to the films we will that's a different thing altogether, vehicles. So I'll talk about vehicles when this says vehicles. Film series, this is number 1. Intro 01. There's only about 10. But again, for Project X people, there is a part of the code. I've either said it or it's in this, within view of this lens somewhere. So there's a code behind all 3 series have got bits of the code in now. There's this the X-Team film. I think there's probably between 6 and 10 different subjects to talk about. So in this bit, in the UFO bit, in the UFO series, and in the consultation series, all 3 film series is on this YouTube channel. And that's it. So yeah, but I've written in a lot of props I've got already. So I think that's it. These 2 were in a circus that went bust, like a lot of them are. There was another circus down the road that set fire to their tent, a lot of other things, and a lot of it is us putting them back together, but in the end the people didn't come and they had to give up. So we also had Came With These, who has got a caravan at the Welsh cottage and lives in that. She's always lived in a caravan. She's a traveller with the circus. She does all the seamstress work. She did do it for the circus, but when she realised she was like made all the tea and stuff like that, so we thought she would be handy, so we plumbed her into our Welsh cottage. So at the Welsh, I'll do that in the property section. But yeah, her name's Gladys. Old lady. Now again, we'll probably need somebody pretty permanent for that, because she's seen quite a lot. So that's another one. So that is the person for the old people. They can follow her. Harry's mum and dad are quite young and sit and watch TV all day basically. So they will be like on benefits, things like that. So that's they're in a council house, so that's them. This is sort of like an old retired couple so people will relate to them, and a man in a care home. People can relate to him. So we've got the whole set there, basically. There are others, but I've probably forgotten them. There are some ideas for some of these people. The chap we want for this is a British Army sniping instructor. The girl I want for that is a model in Russia at the moment, but she won't commit, because obviously, you know, when somebody finds you on Russian Facebook, VK is it, and then asks you if you want to be in a film, it all sounds dodgy. It would to me anyway. So she'll have to see, you know, we'll have to send a crew over to convince her, basically. But she is moody, and she is tall and thin, and needs a break, really. And that puts Russia on the map. Now Russia's massive, and they'll want to see the film. This chap's Welsh. Don't know where they came from. Nobody knows where they came from, because they were left on the doorstep of Gladys's caravan at the circus. So nobody knows who their mum and dads are. That's another storyline which we could go into, because 30 books, I mean, you know, we could fit it in there somewhere, I'm sure. So how long have we got? We've done 25 minutes. That's good. I'm glad I've not gone over 30. Over 30 minutes, I find the YouTube videos get, you feel you should be doing something else. Yeah, so that's 01. So the Actroid, she produces quite a lot of funny things down the line. You know, does stuff that amazes people, and you know, everyone's after her. We don't know who they are, but we call them Red 13, and I think there's a blue lot, because they come dressed in red kit, and there's 13. We counted 13 of them on the thermal images. So basically, and they're after her, probably from Japan, but nobody knows. So we have to fight them off occasionally. And I think, yeah, in book 2, we're fighting the Russians, or a Russian team that tries to come and grab her as well. So there's a lot of that. A few small mishaps. Thought we'd go down to Swansea. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, you'll have to read it. That's one thing I'm not going to, not like the UFO book, where you don't have to buy that, because I've told you everything here. I couldn't cover everything in these books, short of reading it. You can get it on Kindle as well, I think. Yeah. I can't remember. Ah, yes, and in the end of this book, we do a Madeleine McCann type investigation, but we find our girl in South America. We actually find them, and another one as well, to do with the drug cartels. So we blow up a few, you know, it's virtually impossible, but we blow up a few drug cartel houses and stuff like that, and annoy them a bit, and use one of their own submarines to get back to wherever it is, Brazil or Colombia, I think. So I can't remember. I mean, I did look at all the maps and stuff and get it all accurate, but once I've finished them, I'll forget them. But I'm on book 3 now, called Red 13, and that's about the Japanese Secret Service team that are trying to get her back. And we're trying to fit in all our other operations with them trying to get to us. And I'll tell you what, if I've got enough time. No, I've got to go. See you later.